1. Introduction. My name is Dahlia. I lived in a small, quiet village. It was a place with green fields and old ways of life. In my village, young women did not choose their own husbands. Our parents made these important decisions for us. My mother always told me, a good husband means a good life. I always hoped she was right. I wanted to believe in this idea. When I was 22 years old, my parents gave me big news. They told me I would get married soon. My heart beat very fast. I had never met this man or even seen him. His name was Jay. My parents said he lived in the city. They told me he was handsome, had a lot of money, and was well educated. But I did not think about money or fancy cars. Every night I prayed for just one thing. I hoped he would be a kind man. Kindness was more important to me than anything else. The day of the wedding arrived very quickly. I wore a beautiful white dress with shiny gold lace. Everyone around me said I looked like a dream, like something from a storybook. But my hands were shaking the entire time. I felt very nervous. Then I saw Jay for the first time. My breath stopped in my chest. He was very tall and looked serious. He was handsome, just like an actor in a movie. But when I looked into his eyes, they seemed cold. He did not smile at me, not even a little bit. This made me feel a strange unease inside. I tried to tell myself that these feelings were just because of the wedding day. Maybe it was only my nerves. I wanted to believe that his kindness would show itself later, after we were married. I gave him a small smile, hoping to see a warm look in his eyes or a soft smile on his face. But there was only distance between us. His face did not change. I felt a worry grow in my heart. Would my hope for a kind husband ever come true? I wondered what my new life would be like with this man I did not know at all. The traditions of my village had brought us together, but his cold eyes made me feel very alone, even on our wedding day. I wished for a sign of warmth, but none came. The day ended with a feeling of uncertainty in my heart. 2. A new home. After the wedding, I moved into Jay's big house in the city. It was a grand house, much larger than any I had seen. The floors were shiny, reflecting light from tall windows. Many beautiful rooms had nice furniture. Fresh flowers stood in crystal vases. Everything looked perfect. But despite the beauty, I felt deep loneliness. The large rooms felt empty and quiet. My footsteps echoed. There was no laughter, no warm talks. I felt small and lost in this perfect, silent house. It was beautiful, but it did not feel like a home. It felt like a cage. Jay was often away. He left early for work. He came back late when city lights shone. He was always quiet. We ate dinner and he spoke few words. After eating, he went to his office room. He spent many hours there. I hardly saw him. His work took all his time. I tried hard to connect with him. I wanted to make our life a true marriage. I cooked different dishes, hoping to find his favorite food. I wore nice dresses, hoping he would look at me. I tried to start conversations, asking about his day, but his answers were short. His eyes often looked far away. He was present, but emotionally distant. Sometimes I heard him talking on the phone. His voice then was soft and gentle, a voice I had never heard him use with me. It made my heart ache. I did not know who he was talking to, but it filled me with quiet sadness. One evening, I felt I could not take the silence anymore. I asked him softly, "Jay, are you happy with me?" He stopped. He looked at me, but his eyes were cold. He said, "Dahlia, you are a good person, but I did not choose this marriage." After these words, he stood up and left the room, leaving me alone. His words broke my heart. It was a quiet break, but I felt pain deep inside. I went to our bedroom, and tears streamed down my face. I cried into my pillow so no one would hear my sorrow. The beautiful house felt even colder and emptier that night. My dream of a kind husband seemed far away. 3. A sad secret. The silence between Jay and me grew deeper each day. It was like a thick, invisible wall. Many days passed, and we did not talk much. Jay went to work early and came home late. I tried to keep busy in the large house. I cooked, cleaned, and walked in the garden, but my heart felt heavy. His words, "I didn't choose this marriage," stayed with me like a sad song. One afternoon, I cleaned Jay's study. It was a room I did not often enter. It had many books and a big desk. I was putting books back on a high shelf. My fingers touched an old book. I opened it. Inside, between 2 pages, was a small photograph. My hands stopped. I took the photo out. It showed Jay. He looked younger and had a happy smile. Next to him was a beautiful girl with long, dark hair and a bright smile. Her head rested on his shoulder. They looked very happy. On the back, words were written. I read them. "Forever yours, Anna." My heart felt a sharp pain. This was Anna, the girl he loved, the girl who still lived in his heart. I looked at the photo for a long time. His distance, his cold eyes, his sad voice, it all made sense. His heart was not with me. It belonged to Anna. This was the truth. I put the photograph back into the book. My hands shook. A single tear fell onto the page. I felt a deep sadness inside. I tried to hide my feelings, but it was hard. My eyes felt hot. That evening, when Jay came home, he looked at me. My eyes were red from crying. He asked, "Are you sick?" I wanted to tell him everything. I wanted to scream, "No, I am married to a man who loves another woman." But the words did not come out. I stayed quiet. I shook my head and said, "No, I am just tired." He nodded. He did not ask more questions. He showed no curiosity about my sadness. He just walked past me to his office room. In that moment, I knew. My fears were true. I was living with a man whose heart was not mine. He did not care that I was hurting. It was a sad secret, now mine. 4. I cannot stay. Many weeks passed, then many months. In my village, people thought I was very lucky. They said, Dahlia married a rich, handsome man. She has a wonderful life. But they did not know my true feelings. They did not see the quiet sadness inside my big, beautiful house. My heart felt heavy all the time. I felt like I was living a lie. One evening, I could not hide my feelings anymore. Jay came home from work. I stood in front of him. My voice was not strong, but I spoke clearly. "Why did you marry me?" I asked him. "If you love another woman." Jay looked very surprised. He asked, "Who told you about this?" I looked at him. My eyes were wet. "I saw her photo, Jay," I told him. "I am not blind. I know what I saw." Jay sighed deeply. He looked down for a moment. Then he spoke. His voice was low. "My mother forced me to marry you," he said. "Anna, the woman in the photo, left me. Her family did not agree. My mother wanted me to feel better. She thought that if I married you, I would forget Anna. She thought you could fix my broken heart." Tears ran quickly down my face. My heart hurt very much. I asked him, my voice shaking, "So, what about me, Jay? Am I just medicine for your broken heart? Am I here only to make you feel better?" He did not look at me. He turned his head away. He said, "I never wanted to hurt you." But his words came too late. The pain was already deep inside me. My voice broke. "You already did hurt me," I said. The words were quiet but true. That night, I started to pack a small bag. My heart told me one clear thing: I must leave this house. I cannot stay here anymore. I need to leave before I lose myself completely in this sadness. I cannot live in a place where I am not loved. I decided to go away. This was the end of my life here. 5. A new start. The new morning brought a clear, strong decision. I could not stay in a house where my heart felt empty every day. I walked to Jay's mother's room. She was sitting by a large window. I spoke softly, but my words were firm. I told her I was leaving. Her face showed surprise, then sadness. She asked me to think again, to give Jay more time. "Dahlia, please," she said. "My son needs you. He needs more time. Things can change." I shook my head slowly. My heart felt heavy, but my resolve was stronger. "He does not need me, madam," I explained. "He needs the girl he truly loves. I cannot be a cure for his sadness. Living without love is too hard. It is not fair to me, and it is not fair to Jay either." My words were honest. I felt a strange, new strength inside me, a quiet courage I had not known before. I thanked her for everything, for her kindness, for the home. Then I said my goodbyes. Next, I went to our bedroom. The large, beautiful room felt cold and empty now. I took out my small travel bag. I had not used it since I first came to this city. Slowly, I put a few clothes inside. I did not take many things, only the most important ones. Each item I placed in the bag felt like a small step towards a new path. My hands did not shake now. There was a quiet resolve in my movements. I looked around the room one last time. It was a place of many sad memories. I closed the bag with a soft click. Later that evening, the front door opened. Jay was home. He walked into the living room. He stopped suddenly. His eyes saw the small bag by the door. His face became still. "Where are you going?" he asked. His voice was a whisper. I looked at him. This time there were no tears in my eyes, only a deep, quiet sense of an ending. "I am going home," I told him clearly. "I cannot live here anymore. I cannot live with someone who does not love me. This life is not fair to either of us." He did not speak. He just looked down at the floor, his shoulders bent. He looked tired and lost. I wanted to say more, but there were no more words left. Everything important had already been said or shown in the silent months we had shared. I walked past him, a quiet goodbye in my heart. I felt the sadness, yes, a dull ache, but also a strong, clear feeling of freedom. It was a strange mix of feelings. I opened the door and stepped outside. The city lights shone brightly. I left him standing there, alone in the big, silent house. I took a taxi to my cousin's house in the village. It was a simple home, but it felt warm and welcoming. My cousin hugged me tightly without asking questions. That night, I lay in a small, comfortable bed. My heart was still heavy with the pain of the past months, but for the very first time in many months, I could breathe deeply, truly breathe. I felt a new sense of peace, a quiet calm. The heavy weight was gone from my shoulders. This was truly a new start for me. 6. He comes back. Dahlia stayed at her cousin's house for 3 days. The village felt different now. It was her home, but she had changed. She felt a new kind of quiet freedom. Yet a part of her heart still felt heavy from the marriage. She thought about Jay and the empty house in the city. She knew she had made the right choice to leave. She needed to be true to herself. She hoped Jay would understand, even if it hurt him. On the 3rd day, a car stopped outside the gate. Dahlia looked out. It was Jay's car. Her heart beat faster. She did not expect him. She opened the door slowly. Jay stood there. His face was very tired. His eyes were red like he had not slept well. He looked different from the cold man she knew. He looked sad and sorry. "Dahlia," he said softly. His voice was not strong. "Please listen to me for a moment." Dahlia crossed her arms over her chest. She felt confused. "Why are you here, Jay?" she asked. Her voice was quiet but firm. He took a deep breath. It seemed hard for him to speak. "I was wrong, Dahlia, about everything." He looked at the ground for a moment, then back at her. "I thought I could forget Anna. My mother pushed me to marry you. I thought a new life would fix my broken heart, but I was wrong to treat you the way I did." Dahlia listened. She did not speak. She wanted to hear everything he had to say. "When you left," Jay continued, "the house became truly empty. It was not just quiet, it was sad. I realized I missed you. I missed your voice. I missed your kindness, even when I was cold to you. I missed the way you smiled, even when I did not smile back. You tried to make our house a home, and I did not see it. You did not deserve my silence. You did not deserve my distance. Tears started to fill Dahlia's eyes. She did not expect these words from him. She did not know how to feel. Part of her felt angry, but another part felt a small hope. Jay stepped a little closer. I want to try again, Dahlia, he said. His voice was honest. Not because my mother told me to, not because I need to forget someone, but because I want to build a real life with you. I want to be a real husband. Please give me a second chance. Dahlia stayed silent for a long time. She thought about the pain he had caused. She thought about the photograph of Anna. It was hard to believe him. It was hard to trust him again. She whispered, "It's not easy to trust you again, Jay. My heart was broken." He nodded slowly. I know, I understand. I will work for your trust. I will wait. As long as it takes, Dahlia, I will wait for you. Jay stood there, waiting for her answer. The air was still. Dahlia looked at his tired, hopeful face. She saw a different man from the one she had married. She saw a man who was truly asking for something. 7. We try again. After many days, I decided to return to the city. It was not an easy choice. I knew I could not go back as the old Dahlia. I had to be strong. I returned as a woman who knew her own worth. I would not accept an empty marriage. I would give Jay a chance, but he had to work for it. My heart was open, but also careful. When I returned, Jay was different. He was not the cold man I knew. He started coming home from work earlier. He did not go straight to his office. Instead, he waited for me. We ate dinner together every night. He asked me about my day and listened. This was new. Before, he only spoke about work. Now he wanted to know about me. One evening I was cooking. Jay came in and asked, "Can I help?" I was surprised. He had never done that. I gave him vegetables to cut. He was not very good, but he tried. Another time he tried to make rice. He burned it not once, but twice. We both laughed then. It was a soft, happy sound. This was the first time we had truly laughed together since our wedding day. It felt like a warm light in the big house. Every day, Jay tried more. He would sit with me on the sofa. We talked about simple things. Sometimes we just sat in silence, but it was comfortable. Slowly, the walls between us began to fall. I could see a new part of him, a kind and caring part. He was not just trying to fix a mistake, he was trying to build something new. One night, we were on the balcony. The city lights shone below us. Jay looked at me, his eyes soft. He said, "You know, Dahlia, I never thought I could love again." My heart beat faster. This was a big step for him. I looked back at him. "Then don't just say it," I said. "Show it." He smiled. It was a real, warm smile. "I will," he promised. He kept his promise. He started to share feelings. He told me about his past, his dreams, and his fears. It was like he was opening a locked door in his heart. With every new story, I felt closer to him. For the first time, I felt he was truly mine. We were building a true connection. 8. Our life now. A year had passed since I returned to the city. Our house, which once felt like a cold place, was now truly our home. It was filled with warmth and our shared moments. This change did not happen overnight. It was a slow building, day by day, like a small plant growing stronger in the sun. I often thought about the pain from the first months of our marriage. It was a difficult time, but I realized now that it made me stronger. I learned to stand up for myself. I learned my own worth. That hard time taught me to be brave and to ask for what I needed. It showed me that even in sadness, there can be growth. Jay also saw these changes. He often told me, "Dahlia, you taught me what true love means. It is not about a perfect beginning. It is about staying and working together even when things are hard." When he said this, I would smile at him. I always added, "And it is also about forgiveness." We both learned to forgive each other for past hurts. We learned to forgive ourselves too. Our life was not always perfect. We still had small arguments sometimes. There were moments of quietness or when we did not understand each other fully. But these times were different now. We learned to talk about them. We learned to listen. More often, our home was filled with laughter. We had long talks late at night, sharing our thoughts and dreams. Trust grew between us, strong and deep. The man I married, who was once so distant and cold, had become my best friend. He was open and kind. He cared for me in ways I had only dreamed of. We built a life together, not just a house. Sometimes, a memory of the girl from the old photograph would come to my mind, but I no longer felt jealous or sad. She was a part of Jay's past, a part of his journey. I knew now that I was his present. I was also his future. That feeling was a comfort. When I visited my village, people still looked at me with envy. They said, "You married a rich man, Dahlia. You are so lucky." I would just smile quietly. In my heart, I knew the truth. I had not just married a man with money. I had married a broken man who, with time and effort, learned how to love again. This was a gift far more precious than any amount of wealth. It was the best kind of luck.